Message was sent. Sometimes I don't know if the message is received, but I've got a group that, again, they're not overly demonstrative, so you say what you say and you hope that it's being absorbed, but I think their play spoke to it. I think we were fundamentally sound defensively for the most part, followed the scouting report, and UTSA plays a completely different style than UTEP did. UTEP was a little grimier, a little more physical. UTSA's got a few more weapons on their perimeter. So, yeah, I thought the message was sent and accepted. When you beat a conference opponent, I was watching some college ball as conference play has started over the last few days. When you get in conference play, man, it's hard. They're all hard. They just take on more of a significance, and so none of them are easy. And so when you win as handily as we did tonight, you take it and you enjoy the new year.
With Jelly, obviously you didn't like his shot selection a lot. Did he kind of return to the efficient sort of Jelly tonight?
Mark told me that they announced, I guess he's the quickest to 1,000 in program history. I don't know who that was prior. I don't think it was me. I'm not asking that for you to say it was me. Yeah, Robert Vaden. But that's not surprising. I mean, I guess collectively now he's probably in 22, 23 a game or whatever he is. But, yeah, man, I like 12 for 21 Jelly better than I like, what was it the other night, 6 for 1,000? Yeah. 26. Yeah. I like this one better. And 7 for 12 from 3 assists. I thought Eric Gaines had a good floor game as well. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, only 2 turnovers, 11 turnovers, 12 turnovers. That's where we need to be. And again, as a coach, you're really pleased when you see that you're sharing the ball on almost 70% of your made field goals.
Look at KJ Buffett just continues to kind of do everything for you guys on that end, and really kind of stepping up with his steals here lately.
Yeah, he's been tremendous. Steve Rutherford, who I also hope gets an invite to your party. He is a magician with these stats, and he tweeted something that KJ's 7 against UTEP was the most of my era, which I would have thought Quan had that easily at more than 7. But KJ's been tremendous, and he's been a great foul shooter. Coming into the night, he's been over 80%. He goes 3 for 8, or he could have had really a monster night. 14 points, 9 rebounds. Again, Jelly gets a lot of the headlines, and justifiably so, because he makes a lot of spectacular plays. But KJ's been our most consistent contributor to this point.
It looks like Bud is really kind of starting to develop to that 6th man in the rotation. Look at his minutes tonight. Just just talk about his response after having such a special game on Thursday.
Yeah, I trust Bud. Sometimes when young players don't play early, it's really not sometimes it's not a reflection on them and what they're not doing. It's just a reflection on roster. Who's he behind and the veterans and so forth. And he's always been productive for us. I started inserting him because perimeter shooting outside of Jelly is a problem for us. And the way people are going to crowd Jelly, we've got to have other guys knock down horse shots. And he can do that. And he's also a bigger guard. Sometimes physically we get a little bit overwhelmed. He's a bigger body in there, and he's certainly not afraid to use it. So he can help us in a variety of ways.
How do you feel about this team getting to the road the first time in conference and going up against the league leader currently in FAU?
To quote Bart Scott, I can't wait. It's really the next phase for this team. I mean, it's a huge game for us, but it's one of 20. And again, we're going to see if we have learned any lessons. We had success, neutral site court, won the Sunshine Slam, beat two good opponents, and then we had an opportunity against West Virginia, a really good West Virginia team, and weren't able to get it done. So this is the next step for us. Let's see if we can take this and carry it on the road against an FAU team who is outstanding.
Do you expect LA to
I do. I'm not rushing him. You never. I want, especially with a hand catching, dribbling. He's got to be right, mentally. But he's been doing some activity, non-contact, just kind of on his side, just to get a little confidence with catching the ball and working out some of the pain. And we'll take tomorrow off, and we'll get back on Monday. And our anticipation is for him to go. Thank you.
I feel like I always say at the time, AK makes us have it's called the next play mentality. And I try to instill that into my life, you know what I'm saying? Good days, bad days, move on to the next day. So, obviously Thursday's game, especially in particularly for me, it wasn't pretty, but we got the win, and that's all that matters. This game, I didn't want to do the same thing, so kept my approach the same, but I just dusted that off, you know what I'm saying, and just kept playing.
Is it something when you're such a good shooter, though? Is it tough to get past those? I know you take the next game mentality. But,
yeah.
Is it tough to get?
Yeah. I mean, for someone like me who scores as well as I do and who's as good a shooter as I am, Yeah, it was frustrating. You know what I'm saying? It was hard to sleep that night. You know what I'm saying? I didn't end up going to sleep till like 4 in the morning. I just kept watching the game over and over again. And I actually was texting AK. I think because he didn't go to sleep either. He probably was watching film like he always does. But I texted him and I'm just like telling him all the things I was doing wrong and stuff like that. And now he was right about a lot of the shots I took. Some of them weren't really good shots, and they hurt our team a little bit. So I wanted to come in today and just keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? And obviously do what I do, because the shots I shoot, I mean, to some they may feel bad, but to me, and I know my coaching staff and I know my teammates believe in those shots. So I just try to come in and just be better, you know.
For you, when you see one or two go down,
Oh.
you know, does that really kind of
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, you don't even got to finish your sentence. When I see one, yeah, I feel good, because I feel like that's regular for me. But when I see two go through, especially like back to back, because I usually have a lot of buckets where they back to back, I feel like, oh yeah, this now it's go time. You know what I'm saying? And it gets me going a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when I see one or two, I truly feel like nobody can guard me. You know, and I'm a good enough shooter to feel like that. So yeah.
in the first half, particularly all the way through, but in the first half particularly, you guys did a really good job of sharing the ball,
Yeah.
maybe taking that extra
Yeah.
pass, that type of thing. How much better are you as a team when you guys play like that?
Yeah, we're way better. We're way better, and I think that's what got from us last game, because I don't even know how many total assists we had, but it wasn't nowhere near as many we had tonight. You know what I'm saying? So us just getting in that paint and driving and kicking and stuff like that. And obviously UTEP, the way they played me was different than the way that UTSA, because UTSA was in the box and one type stuff. So it more so our teammates had to like make plays in the first half. You know what I'm saying? And just find the gap and make that extra pass, because it was someone wide open the whole time. But I feel like we're a way better team when we get a bunch of guys playing, because we have so many weapons. You know what I'm saying? So many people talk about me and all this stuff, but we have a lot of players that can play. And I feel like I said it on Twitter yesterday, like Butter Johnson played amazing last game. You know what I'm saying? Then you have KJ Buff in this game, and Eric Gaines coming back, and Javion Davis, you know what I'm saying, and Trey Jemison. So it's just stuff like that. We just have so many weapons. So when we have the more players that play well, the better team we are.
Well, especially when you get in conference, how much do you learn from the tough nights more than you do from the good nights? Like did you learn more from?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I've always learned more from the losses. I've always learned more from the bad games I played than the good games. You know what I'm saying? Because when you play good, I mean, it's hard to really correct something because you're doing it good. But when you're doing stuff bad, those are the stuff you can't repeat again. You know what I'm saying? It's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So that's literally insane to do the same thing over and then thinking it's going to be different. So you have to change it. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing good, it's like, why would I change it? But when you're doing bad, you have to change it.